Hey, what's up YouTube? Ernie G from Onyx Bull BBQ with my son baby Ernie behind the scenes today. Just wanted to do our first video, do a little walk around of the new pit, kind of go over the good, the bad, the ugly, tell you what we liked, what we didn't like, what was supposed to happen and what didn't happen and all that. So we'll kind of just get into it here. Like I said, this is our first video ever. We're just starting this new channel. It's just my son and I, a little father-son venture here. He's been my smoking buddy since he's been about 5 years old, and he's 13 now. So we've kind of enjoyed this little journey we've had together. So let's get into it here. So this is Bernadette. She is 3/8 of an inch thick, a 72-inch cook chamber by 24-inch diameter. Firebox is 29 inches long with also 24-inch diameter. Got a counterweight up here because that door is big, it is heavy, but we still can do one-hand operation. Chimney stack here, 6.5 inches in diameter to help with the draw with such a long smoker. Got some 14-inch golf cart tires here on the bottom. So we'll get started. Let's start on the firebox and kind of go over some of the things on this side. So as you can see, I took some inspiration from Franklin's barbecue pit. I wanted to put her name in there so when the fire is glowing and is night, it'll glow up and it'll look really nice with some intake holes down here in the bottom that do not close. So I can close my door all the way, let the air still flow through, and I can control the temperature with the smokestack on the other side. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. You could have inlets that open and close. You could have no inlets at all and just use the door, which in that case, I do also have a notch here if I wanted just extra air for whatever reason. Put it right there and it'll hold it open. Again, it's 3/8 of an inch thick, so the door should stay open anyway. One of the issues that we did have here, so initially I wanted the flange on the inside of the smoke chamber, so I wanted this flange also on the inside of the firebox. But when he first made it, he had it on the outside. You can kind of see up here where it was initially, and this door was out here and it just went flush up against the firebox all the way around. And I told him he needs to fix this, and we need to cut it. It needs to be inside flange, and he didn't do a good job. You can see here it's kind of crooked. The gap's bigger on here. There's almost no gap down here at the bottom. But in any case, it works just fine. We did the initial seasoning and didn't see any smoke leaking coming back out from any of these spots here, and also neither on the smoke cook chamber itself. As we move around, I wanted the smoker to be clear coated so it has that mill scale look, and he linseed oiled it first and then clear coated it. I think it still looks good. It still has a really nice clean look to it, but initially I wanted it to look like a mill scale smoker, nice and dark gray. And as you can see, I have a lot of yard here in the back, so I went with the golf cart tires that I found myself, and I bought these because these are the ones that I wanted to help me get it through when I want to pull it into the yard and get her hosed down and cleaned up with the pressure washer without having the tires sink into the grass. Did have kind of a hard time getting it through that back gate, so my wife and my kids helped me get it through there, and I finally got it. It took a bit, but we did get it. We have 6 Tell True glow in the dark thermometers. I do most of my smoking at night, so I need something to help me see the temperature gauges when it's dark. I do have some lights out here too as well, but it's nice to have that. The front shelf does go down. Now, I didn't want to do a smaller shelf so it does hit the tire on this end, but if I really need it down, I can just turn the tires around and it'll drop all the way to the bottom. But I wanted something big enough to hold a pan if I needed to. Let's see, the counterweight here is about a 45-degree angle to keep it a little bit of a lower profile, so I can find just a basic generic cover to go over it without having to go full custom, because they can get pretty expensive. And as I said, you know, it is 3/8 of an inch thick. You can do one-hand operation, but if you look, that firebox door is pretty big. It's pretty thick. I do have 2 levels of racks, top rack and a bottom rack. Initially, what I asked for was for this rack to be as far out as it could this way, so I have more cooking space down to the back. And when he made it short. So as you can see here, I do understand the concept of it. If you do have food on the top here and you're also cooking, say, brisket down here on the bottom, you have easier access to get through it without this grate being in your way. So I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not initially what I asked for. Some of the other custom things that I did on this pit was, so I know everyone has seen these type of grates before, where you have the holes in the bottom to allow the heat to come through for the bottom rack. But I went a step further and I did holes on the top section as well. The very top of that deflector plate ends at the top of this rack up here. It'll still allow heat and smoke to get through the bottom level underneath and on top, the top level underneath and on top, to hopefully get some good cooking, even cooking temps all across the smoke. Of course, it'll always be higher on top than the bottom because the heat rises, but if I can get the 3 top gauges to be pretty level in themselves and the 3 bottom ones, then I think we're going in the right direction. I won't really know until we do the biscuit test, which I'll probably do sometime maybe this weekend or next week. And as we go across to the other side, if you can kind of see, the lighting may not be great, but the collector where the opening is, it is above the grate and also below at the same time, to hopefully draw that air over and under the food as it's cooking to get out through the collector and out the chimney stack. And we also added a couple of deflectors, plates in there to help funnel that air and direct it a little smoother rather than going through the collector, kind of hitting off that back end and allowing back pressure. What that kind of does, it creates a hotter spot right here as it's going out. So hopefully that's going to eliminate that. But again, we're not going to know until we do that biscuit test and see where the hot spots are, how even it is, and so on. So again, this is a single door. The door itself is about 5 feet across, so it is very heavy. And kind of my idea behind this one was, whenever you get a smoker about this size, it's a little bit under 150 gallons, but they do 2 doors, which is fine. But this kind of gives it that bank vault feel. It's a huge, thick iron door. Takes some strength to get it open at first, but then that counterweight kicks in and it just opens up like a giant bank vault. And I really like that feeling that I get. And the way that it looks, having these long grates across the thing, looks pretty cool. As we get along to this side here, this is the chimney stack. It's got 6.5 inch in diameter. I don't know the total length. I would say it's about maybe 48 inches, maybe about 4 feet tall. Got the damper on top, which goes to either side. But the thing that's unique about this smoker is, because I have the counterweight at about a 45-degree angle, as you can kind of see, there's nowhere for this stack to lay across the cook chamber. So what I did was add the latch in the front, and I'm going to try to push this down, but it is heavy, so bear with me with the camera here. And it folds back basically on itself, so that way, A, it's low profile, B, it's out of the way, and C, I can find a generic cover to keep it covered up without having to go fully custom and doing all the measuring and all that stuff, which can be a little annoying and a little expensive too. So I think like a jet ski cover or like a smart car might be big enough to go ahead and cover this whole thing up. Let's go ahead and latch this down. Okay. Got the pull handle here in the front. The tires do move 360 degrees to get it into tight places. And they have a little catch to hold the stack when it's folded down on itself. You know, all in all, I'm happy with the pit, but there was some things that didn't go right, and we'll start on this corner here. If you look right here, the fire door, the cook chamber door doesn't sit flush. It's raised up right here. He said he tried to heat it and beat it down, and it's just the door is so thick he couldn't get it to go down any further. The spacing is not quite even on the top, and down here on the bottom, if you can possibly see that, and this corner as well, it sticks up. So wasn't really happy about that. But during the initial seasoning and the initial burnout, didn't get any smoke leaking from either one of those corners, so that's good. I guess in the end, that's what really matters. The door opens just fine. Like I said, one hand operation. Open and closes just fine. No smoke is leaking, so I guess I can live with that. This channel is going to be ran by me and my son. Like I said, he's 13 years old. We love barbecue. We love the bonding moments that we get, either getting up really early in the morning when it's cold, cup of coffee, coming out with my smoking buddy, we get everything prepped, or staying up in the middle of the night, watching movies outside. It's always been really fun for both of us, and we love that time we spend together. So hopefully, you know, somebody can see this channel and not only see the fun that we're having with my son, but it's going to be for a lot of beginners, you know, how to start up, how to start a fire, how to trim a brisket, and a lot of things that can get people started on their way. As well, we'll do product reviews, things that we use, things that we like, things that didn't work. So hopefully you can save your money and not buy some of those things, or we can recommend some items that we do that work really well, and hopefully they work for you too. So again, this is Onyx Bull BBQ first video, walk around of our new smoker. We will be dropping a video probably once a week, once every 2 weeks, starting with the biscuit test. See where the hot spots are. We can see how this thing is working, how it's running, and we'll kind of go from there. So, you know, hello to all my family and my friends, probably starting watching this video, you know, getting us off the ground. I appreciate you guys with the views and the likes and the comments. It means a lot to us, and hopefully we can reach more people, and this can be a video that people come to get some information. So thanks again, I appreciate it.